Capricorn.
Well, Capricorn, this is your forecast for July 2015, and it's going to be a relationship month, and I'd like to say maybe even so in a big way. And why? Well, we're starting off this month with flying wings with a kiss from the universe, cosmic kiss, and it is between Venus and Jupiter. Now, Venus rules love and romance, and anything that Jupiter touches, it expands it. The two of them are tightly together here on the first. To make it even better, Capricorn, is that we have the full moon happening here on the very same day, and that will be 9 degrees there in your sign. And not only that, but as the hours go from the exact time of the full moon, next few hours, what it's going to do is going to cross the very degree of Pluto, making things even more so deep, passionate, intense. So whatever is taking place today, it's in a big style, big way. And we also have the sun, which is your essence here, also on the first in the 7th house of relationships. So we know that this is going to be expanded, looked into, and initiated here with a beautiful trine to Neptune. Now, Neptune is your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, those things that you envision. Neptune being in your 3rd house of communication, the sun being in the 7th house, well, these two are going to be communicating love and yearnings from the heart, soul, and spirit. Now, this conjunction, though, of Venus and Jupiter, it's going to be in your 8th house, house of intimacy. Now, some of you can even become pregnant here, lo and behold, just because things are so pinpointed. However, the 8th house is not just intimacy, it's how you share your resources with your partner. And so you might be looking into the money side of your relationship as well. How are we sharing? Is it fair? And I believe it would be here, especially because there's more money coming in. I feel that this is something that's going to bless both you and your partner, because it's expanding this area of it could be inheritance, it could be royalties and commissions, it could be, if you're looking for perhaps, say, a mortgage, you could be blessed with a mortgage here, or early July. Some of you might also just want to see how you're doing with your investments in the overall. But good news, and we have the whole first week here of July that's going to do this for you. On the 2nd, we got Mercury, which is communication. It's also documentations of whatever, but there's news coming in here with Uranus, which can open up things as a surprise, the unexpected. Uranus has to do with home, family, the past. Mercury being in your 6th house for day-to-day routine, whatever is taking place right now might just shut you off, so you're going to have to offset your daily routine. And I don't think you're minding it very much either, because on the 4th, Mercury, the same bringer of news, is going to 6th house with Jupiter up there in that 8th house of money and income. So you'll see how you're going to be working with this, balancing it. On the 5th, we got Mercury again, 6th housing off on Venus. So you could see from the 1st straight through the 5th, it's like a domino game, boom, 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 boom. All of it having to do with graceful things, abundant things coming into your life, surprising things as well. And what affects you will affect your partner. Now, you might ask, and I get that question a lot, what about us who are not in a relationship? If you're single, always remember that the first relationship you have at all times is the relationship with self. So you may see how these things are working with your inner, outer self, your higher self, and your subconscious self. Now, if you are single, this would be a great time for you to meet up with somebody. So please do not sit at home. You want to mingle. Then we have on the 6th, the sun, which is the essence of you. It's in the 7th house, so your focus is on your partner is focused on you. Today, we're looking at integration. Pluto's in that first house, meaning that yes, you have been transforming. Over several years now, Capricorn, you've been transforming, deepening those inner essence of your personality. Now the sun is here and wanting to integrate it between you and your partner. Remember, you've got that full moon taking place there with Pluto on that first. Pay attention to Pluto this month because we got 3 major aspects that's going to kick into action, which is actually opening up the door for new levels of intensity and passion. On the 8th, it's Mars. Mars is also in that 7th house. You have the sun, Mars, and the new moon in the area for your significant other in partnership. Mars here is action. This is when you move forward. And what are you moving towards here with your partner? It's beautiful. Trine to Neptune. Neptune having to do with travel. It could be for a short time or a short distance, but travel is there, communication is there. You and your partner will be communicating, exchanging a lot. It's also about manifesting the dreams and the visions that you've had and then expressing it, getting it out there. Make sure that you have everything clear between the 1st and the 10th. This is because now you're going to be tested on whatever it is, how you're going to put to use those things that have come into consciousness. Between the 10th and the 15th, well, Mercury might have a communication here with Neptune, which may sound good, but if there is any shade of it feeling unclear, remember that Neptune can create a fog when it's not well expected. So if ever in doubt, pose the question, clarify, trust, but verify. On the 13th, well, here's a decision. I see it as an integration. The sun, which is you, it's now squaring off on Uranus, which is the home and family. So it's more like adjusting. Where are you and your partner going? What is it you want to adjust here in the home and between and amongst yourself? On the 14th, Venus, which is love and romance, it's squaring off on Saturn. Now Saturn is and has been working in your 11th house over those last 2.5 years. It's just moved back into that same area because it did dip out for a little bit, but it's back into the 11th house, which has to do with friendships, but also hopes and dreams and how you work, how you fit in with groups. And so here Venus in your 8th house and then the 11th house, it's more like your shared resources between you and your partner and how this is going to manifest in the outworld expression of it. However that makes sense for you. Now on the 15th, recall that we did talk about the Plutonian aspect on the 1st and on the 6th, now with the sun opposing it. Here on the 15th, it's Mars. So you've had some pre-sense of this earlier in the month, but now it's all about you taking action on it. You've had first the moon, your emotions, then the sun, which is your conscious self. Now it's putting it into action with Mars. This opposition is between you, your personality, yourself, and the 7th house, which is your partner. You will be tested of how to integrate these two things between you and your partner, if you're single, between you and yourself. And integration is always extremely important. So it doesn't turn into a power game. Sometimes we see that in relationships, but that's only when you're standing on either side saying it's this way or that. We can't do, white or black. What integration is all about, how do we mix it? How do we bring it together? How do we integrate? How can we make each other happy, seeing each other's point of view of what is important? So on the 15th, I see that you're going to be working on it. Now, Venus is still in Leo at this time, so it's really bringing the sense of pride. And Leo is always very proud of how it loves. And so it's helping you here. And it got that kiss from Cosmos there earlier in the month. So I'm feeling this is still filtering through, allowing you strength to work this through as a process. But then on the 18th, it's moving out of Leo into Virgo. So now it's going to be thinking a whole lot more. That's what Virgos do very well. Not only do they think things through, they can tend to overthink. It's all about organizing one's feelings, one's thoughts. So there's clarity. So, and it's moving into that 9th house on the 18th. So from the intimate house and sharing with your partner, now it's more like, okay, so what is fair? It's the 9th house. House of Sagittarius is all about justice. So if things feel right, you're good. If things are not feeling that it's fair, well, then we have to still work on adjusting, you know, turning that dial a little bit more here. By though, the 21st, the sun, which is you, it is going to be trending off on Saturn. Now, Saturn has been and is still right now in that 11th house. So it's what's socially acceptable to you, what you feel can work with you, and how you express yourself in groups, how you interact with groups. Saturn's going to put you here with Venus now up here in the 9th house. So you might be out and about. Maybe there's some long distance travel coming in for you here, Capricorn, where you may be able to go out into these groups, integrate, express yourself, be dynamically interactive with them, because one thing is all about having the energies come in, all the new beginnings and so forth, but then they do have to integrate in the whole system. So yes, the 21st should be a good day where you're feeling you're on solid ground, you know what you want, you know what you don't want, you're feeling very good about the way things are taking on shape and form thus far. However, on the 25th, Mars is going to square up with Uranus. What happens then? Well, Mars is all this energy with that wanting to go out and express itself. It's active, it's not holding back, and especially when it's coming up towards Uranus, unexpected situations can take place. So there might be maybe an abrupt situation or expression or action. And this could be between you and your partner, where you're at home, the foundation of what it is you trust and believe. So there might be a little trigger here to see how the two of you are going to be working this together. So, you know, that's important. And the 25th, we have Venus now that has just moved in on the 18th to the sign of Virgo, is now retrograding. So you're going to have a little test, a little flavor, and a little feel of how it was to move forward in that 9th house, either out and about traveling in the world, or also reaching for those higher aspects of truth and spirituality. But then it's going to retrograde here for a few weeks. It's going to go back into that house of intimacy. On the 26th, we have Uranus too. That is going to turn retrograde for the better part of 4 to 5 months. And that is in the area of your foundation, home and family, and those things that are important to you of the past. So it's going to calm down. The last 6 months, it seems to have been a lot of changes going on here. So that's going to be more so calm and quiet. But listen, Capricorn, we've got 3 moons this month. We have the new moon on July 1st. It's going to be in your sign, 9 degrees. So that's going to be in the area of relationships. You're going to see how that's going to be illuminated. Then we have, the full moon, excuse me, on the 1st is in your 1st house. So you will be illuminated. The essence of you and how you present yourself, the energy that you're giving off out to the public, that's on the 1st. 9 degrees in your sign. On the 15th, we have the new moon. That is what's showing up in your area of love and relationships, your committed other. So this is the time that we put down our intentions. We get this chance once a year when the new moon shows up in this area. So put your intentions down that you'd like to have more time to be shared with that beautiful other of yours. And then we have the second full moon of the month here on the 31st. this is going to be 7 degrees in Aquarius, which is going to show up in your area of income, the money that you make and receive. So whatever illumination here, this is going to be great. It's really setting you off to a great start there in August, which is a whole new chapter, and we'll talk more about that next month. So in the meanwhile, have a great summer here and enjoy. See you in August. Bye now.